sorry. The guild, the dragon houses.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Actually, how many of them were there?
Yeah, 12. There were 12.
There was one.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, to your understanding, there are 12 archmages because each one is representing the house in more of a magical means.
I'm going to. So I hung back before we came in originally and watched. Well, kind of saw where Osei and Regav went to take their seats, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to, if I can, try to double back. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be jumping like Thulrom did up the side. I want to try and legitimately make my way into the stands to get to Osei, Regav, and the house, the heads of the house.
Okay, so you're following Rook essentially.
If that's where he's going,
he's heading in that direction as well. Okay, make an athletics check. As Rook, you see Amara run past you. What's everyone else doing at the moment? Gunnar, are you doing anything particularly as you also see all of this occurring?
What?
Go on.
I think I will just scan. I'm just looking for anything suspicious.
Yeah, go. Perception check for me. Barclays, you're still on your mount. You're up there. You're looking at now Rook and Amara heading towards where Osei and Regav were seated, and you see the same scene in front of you. Regav becoming quite irate at something in the distance. Thulrom?
As I see Gunnar scanning the crowd, I throw my arms wide and I give him a big old dragon thumbs up. And I look at the crowd and I go, this.
About Gunnar.
Are you not entertained?
What did you roll, Gunnar?
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Nothing. The one thing you do notice, and it's fairly obvious, the crowds that are starting to brawl seem to be spilling over into the stadium now. You watch as groups of people that are fighting each other, and that in turn may be accidentally punching another person beside, then that person starts to head in. There are now heaps and heaps of these groups, but they're starting to now fall over into the stadium itself, and other people are simply just leaping over and aiming a fist down into the ground where this other person might be just on the sand looking up, and they're grinding him into the ground as well. And then other people are following. You see now Amara and Rook. From that angle, from where you're heading, there are crowds of people now starting to spill over that barrier into the sand, into where you fell, and they're starting to, in all angles, all sides of this crowd now, just jumping over and brawling in and around you.
As I'm in the air, I look at where Regav is. Can I see what Regav is looking at?
He's looking at the dragon mark representatives, and he's trying to throw punches at him. Osei is just keeping him off as much as she can, though. She is succeeding, but only just because he is much taller than her. More and more crowds.
How far from this is me?
Probably about...
Is me? No, how far from me is this?
30 feet? 30 to 40 feet. But as you are just observing, just this, the actual stadium ground is filling.
I'm going to look out into the stadium ground, and I am going to just kind of like close my eyes for a second and be like, fuck is going on? And then I'm going to cast darkness out where all the people are spilling.
And that has a radius of how much?
60 feet.
Radius of 60. So it's one...
So I can... Wait, no, it's 15 feet.
So it's
15 feet, sorry.
So
60
30
foot
feet.
radius, so I can cast it from 60 feet away.
Yeah.
It's 15 feet. I'm going to try and get as many of those people that I can to just kind of like hopefully disorient them.
Okay, and whereabouts specifically?
Wherever I can see like the biggest, densest part of this crowd, that's where I'm going to try and aim it.
Okay, sure. Looking around, you do see a portion. It's difficult to pinpoint because one moment the majority of the crowd is fighting directly in front of you. Then you spy to your right and you see another 20 leap over into the sand. There are now probably a good 50 plus people and growing because more people are jumping in. You cast the spell and you hear then you hear shouts like, "Who did that? You did that!" Pointing at some random crowd member, and then they go into the fray. You hear screams as suddenly from within the darkness, whoever was in there starts to yell, "Where am I? Who did this?" In sort of fearful tone.
Can I fly over to where? What's that Elizabeth? There's a guy's name.
Diormo.
Diormo. Can I fly over to him?
Yes, you can. He's simply, he has a very shocked look on his face and he's looking down, just trying to calm the giant eagle who is just scanning, cawing a little bit, almost worried in tone. What are you doing?
I just yell over to him. Well, my friend, what say you? I mean, you didn't win and neither did I, but this crowd, is this normal?
It is not. I know not what this is. This is some sort of evil. Nothing like this has occurred before. I must away. And he turns his eagle around and starts to, in fact, fly out of the stadium to safety.
Which is an option for me as well.
You see, however, you look down with that thought. You see that there were those animal handlers that were helping the mounts get ready for these jousts. They have turned them and are moving them away into this gap in the stadium from whence they probably come out to safety as well. They are ushering them in because the crowd is spilling into the pen and making no inclination to make their way, against these mounts.
Now, do you almost leaving, or is it? It's an automatic disqualification, right?
It's a win.
Yeah.
He retreated.
It's a win. I'm like, okay, well, that was easy. But then I don't know who to like. I'm flying around. I'm trying to see if there's anybody that looks like they're calm. Or they not
Make another perception check for me.
Before
Go on.
the animal handlers take all the critters into the pens.
Now, just be aware you were moving towards, which is away from the pens.
Yeah.
But go on. I'll let you know if you can.
Yeah. Are they like put into the pens yet?
They're being ushered. As you turn, as you
Possible to
remember,
go back and catch one of the handlers.
make an athletics check. You've gone probably you're probably near the middle of the stadium by now, so you probably want to make an athletics check to race back.
While he's doing that check, can I quickly see if Bavolo is anywhere?
What was your perception? Was it?
Oh, my perception was 2.
Okay.
But specifically looking for like where Bavolo is. Can't see him.
The crowd is becoming packed, as in they're starting to get closer and closer
He'd be in the men's
together.
area.
You can't see him.
Alright.
You're not sure.
I'm
He's
gonna look
disappeared.
Up, is Barclays within 80 feet?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to look up at Barclays and I'm going to telepathically say to him, I don't know what's going on. This is really weird. You should get down here. And then I'm going to give him the ability to respond.
Yes, I'd like to come down and have some fun. But actually, it's not fun down there. I actually think I'm better off up here. I'll keep an eye out, see if I can see anything. I might fly a little bit higher.
What'd you roll, Rook?
6.
Okay.
No one's throwing any arrows or like firing arrows.
There are
or
no
anything
weapons.
like
There are
that.
no weapons. It's all fist cuffing.
As
Thorum.
this happens, initially I was thrilled that I riled the crowd up a bit, but then I grow suspicious because this is far too much spreading throughout the crowd. So I'm going to cast Detect Magic, which has a cast line of a minute, I think.
It does. It's within 30 feet though, hey?
30 feet. So
Correct.
Basically, I just want to see if the people around me in the thickest part of the crowd, thick, are affected by magic.
Yeah.
And that will appear like a faint aura.
Yeah, perfect. Yep. You close your eyes for a moment, and as you cast the spell, every single person who is fighting and those that are entering give off a faint, very faint aura about them. There are now over 100 people in the stadium that have spilled over. They're beginning to merge into the middle, and they're still spread out, but they're getting more packed and more packed. Amara, you see now within feet of you, and Rook, Thulrom, and Gunnar, you all see that only within feet of you now there are brawls happening. There are people punching each other in the face. You hear bones crack as noses are broken, and knuckles break. Bruises start appearing. Blood start pouring from noses and ears. You see someone yell at and put a hand over his eye. You see more Shan of the Shan Watch. You see probably about 20 to 25 of them that had come in with weapons drawn to try and break something up, weapons down in the fight as well, and simply arguing the same thing. Barclays is going to win. No, Diomo.
So, summoning on all of my power, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on a 120-foot radius around me. I'm going to cast that at 4th level. So, you will need to make a DC save, which is 14.
How many people are in that crowd? You need to roll for every one of them.
I appreciate it. While I appreciate this, we're going to take no, we're not going to take a break. We're going to do this as a one roll because of the circumstances. Okay, that was a 16. So, as you start to focus your mind to try and uncover and uncast whatever effect is happening with these people, you feel a resistance and you feel this push back as though something overpowering has forced you to stop and take stock of that there's something powerful here.
I'm going to take off my ring and move towards where Gunnar was as quickly as possible.
Interesting. Cool. Go on.
Interesting. So Gunnar's going to start using the mold earth cantrip to make the ground around him difficult terrain. He's trying to put obstacles between him and this mass of people that are coming toward him. So he will start to move away towards, I guess, the center of the pen.
Look. The stadium.
Yeah.
The closest point now that you look around, and as you cast the spell, you see now a rise in the ground, and you feel the earth beneath you start to rumble. You all feel the earth beneath you just start to move like a shifting sand, and smoothly, but it rises and falls in small bumps and small shifts. You notice that the only, I guess, point that you can see that there's an escape or somewhere to get out would be the half-open gate where initially the red-garbed guards came out of. It's still half open. However, at this point, you hear a voice in your mind. Gunnar.
Only Gunnar?
Only Gunnar.
It's gonna be fine. It's good. It's a good voice.
Yeah. It's Mum. Hey, Mum.
Lesson 1. Tell me, What kind of spell did you cast?
Do I recognize the voice?
Roll a percentile, please.
I need to use the digital version of this because I can never read them properly. 72.
Okay. You had a vision recently, and this woman spoke to you. And as you turn your head in confusion for a moment, the voice, it takes you a moment, but you realize the voice is the same, but more like it has a tone to her. She has a tone about her voice that is unfamiliar to you. What spell from which school was that cast?
Transmutation, I think. He's just going to say that out loud.
A response, and she says, "Very good. And what are you going to do now?" And as you watch around you, and you all notice that there is another type of creature now that seems to have emerged from the even just the ground, from nowhere. And you watch as three large praying mantis-like creatures just simply rise out of the sand in different parts of the stadium. These large insect-like eyes looking around. You see that they are thin and they have a chitinous body, and you see that they are wielding what look to be a pole with a wicked-looking moon-shaped blade on either end, going in opposite directions. They are of a bronze or copper-like in appearance. Their wings being this weird, large fly-looking wings, but a lot longer, just buzzing in behind. And you all notice these three creatures. I'm just going to bring up a little bit of a map now so everyone can have a bit of a look at what they're looking at.
Can I instacast Slayers, bro?
100%.
They go back down.
Do you want me to control from my end, or?
Okay, now I will have to ask, because cameras and all that sort of thing, just for the purpose of this is the first time we're using this overlay, which is
Oh,
awesome.
look at our heads.
I'll probably ask if, actually, I'll go around and have a quick squiz.
Hey,
Why is
battle
Sheldon taped up
overlay.
there?
New battle overlay.
Sheldon takes out the picture. Oh, there you go. You're back.
Hey, let's all cuddle. Get close.
Oh, he's back.
Oh my gosh. Is this the map?
Yep. You know how good copy and paste is? It's so good. Okay.
Hell.
Hello map.
Now, do you guys look alright? Yes, you do.
Look, we're fine for
Looking into roll 20.
Rightio. So,
Yeah, can you come closer to me? Thanks.
with that, I'll need. So as you all
Can you press the thing on roll 20, please?
press the thing.
You know how like you can see it and we can't?
Of course. I continually forget about that.
That's fine.
So
Forget about
That's why we're here.
Wait, where is it? Where is that little there's the little tag. Not that one. That's secrets. Okay.
For a second I saw the secrets.
Okay. So, as you all see, there are hundreds and hundreds of people. But what you also notice that in the very centre of this stadium, there seems to be this creature that simply once again appears, and it has one large eye that's looking around. It has a green circular body that is levitating off the earth, and 4 stalks, and at the end of each of these long 1 meter stalks that are sort of flailing around, you see an eye at the end of each of them, and this large tongue, this long thin tongue that's just sloping around. It's quite disgusting. These small spikes on its scaly looking body as well. So that I'm aware, I have an understanding that Amara and Rook are over here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys are over here, and let me have a think.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to Osei. That was the thing.
Yeah, Thulroms, you'd be about
Oh
there.
fuck, I'm right
You'd be-
next to it.
You'd be, a little bit away from everyone. Barclays, you're sort of over here but up in the air. So that was where Doemo is or was. He started to move off, and then Gunnar, you stayed where you were.
I was moving into the middle.
You were moving into the middle. Thank you, appreciate it. You're sort of there at the moment. Good. Yeah. Okay. So at this point, so that everyone can have a go, I'm going to get everyone to roll initiative.
You crushed my hands. Look at this. 2 handsome gentlemen right next to me. Winning at life.
What is it? Okay. So
Oh no.
do I have just so everyone's aware, sorry, the gate which is visible at the top left hand side of the map is half open, and that's the one that's sort of the only real looking exit apart from flying out. So can I have rolls of 25 to 20?
That'll be you.
25. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's me. 21.
21.
I'm fucked.
Okay. Can I have 20 to 15?
Look where I am.
19.
To 15, did you
I'm
say?
going to
Yeah.
do something like that. Oh,
Thank you,
no,
Rob.
he's doing a punch his face over.
Can I have 15 to 10?
You're in, yeah,
14.
opportunity.
Yeah,
You 12.
yeah.
Have you rolled your
If you get your attack.
Yeah, I have. My initiative is lower than 10.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for rubbing it in.
Can I have...
I'd just like to thank
so
everyone in this campaign. It has been so great playing with you. I
Yeah.
can't wait to die.
Do you want us to bury you here?
No.
We will though.
Cremate me, like
I'll
with
grab-
a dragon breath.
I'll grab your initiative, please.
6. The fastest monk in the world.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
You tripped over.
This is why my bio on Twitter is literally like, watch me play the worst monk ever.
By the way, Gunnar, you recognize these insect-like creatures very well. They are, in a moment, you feel a dreaded familiarity with them. And as you look around, when you see one appear, and then one more, and then another, and then this unfamiliar creature looking in the middle, you just, for a moment, you feel like you're somewhere else. But then you come back and you're in this spot once more. This crowd, overwhelming in shouts and pain and yells. And you focus once again on your objectives. At that point, I'll roll one more time. Ooh, okay. And that will be that guy. Okay. The first to go is going to be this weird looking ball with an eye on the end. Who has really just appeared right beside you, Amara, and only a little bit away from you, Rook, and Gunnar. So just to make sure I have everything as well here, I'm just going to move this slightly so you can all see that there's actually no, I'll do something a little different. That's okay there. And I'm going to move this guy over here instead so everyone can see where they all are. Okay. This creature is going to, first of all, boom and then
When the DM says boom as he's doing something with the creature, it's not a good thing.
No.
Rarely is it a good thing.
That noise in the music keeps making me think that someone's getting a FaceTime call.
Excellent. That's exactly what I was trying to do. That's my intention.
No, trust me. When I get a FaceTime call, I get anxiety. So it's working.
Oh no! Oh jeez! Oh shit! Okay. Wow.
See, that's not encouraging either.
So the first thing it's going to do is just turn, and Amara, you see that this. You see that this creature seems to have this green slime that you're really close to it on its skin that makes it sickly slick and wet as it slurps. One of its eyes sort of goes right in front of your face, and through it you see this pink glow, and then a beam of pink light comes towards you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Come on, this is your bread and butter.
Natural 20
Oh.
plus 2.
What are you going to do about it?
That's the
What are you
first
going to do?
good roll I've had in such a
It's
long
probably been about
time.
3 sessions.
It's
that you've
such a
done,
good,
not
like-
great roll.
It's okay.
You feel yourself for a brief moment tense up and almost become unable to move. But then you focus on Ilyana, and your whatever magical effect was going to take hold does not. It screeches towards you in frustration, turns, and then looks at another target. Let's have a look. It's Rook. As you turn, you see you see this thing focus on you now. Another one of these 4 eyes goes towards you. This deep red beam just shoots out of one of its eyeballs towards you. It does hit you automatically, but I need you to make
As this happens, boom!
Punch him
Sentinel.
in the tit.
Yeah, you can do that.
Punch him in
So
the tit.
roll your attack while Rook, you make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's not that great.
Tits.
Ah, that's good.
Were you joking that I got my Slayer's Prayer?
No,
Were you
I'll let
joking?
you do that. I'll let you do that. You certainly would have had time to, so
Constitution saving throw?
yes please.
11.
You feel this beam hit you into the stomach, and as you try and resist whatever effect it has, you feel just simple pain. As you look down, you see your stomach and the skin around it start to turn a black, and you smell this acrid smell of rot. You take
So many
You
comforting
take
sounds.
18 points of necrotic damage as this the skin around you just starts to peel and die.
That was a 17 to hit.
That will hit. Go for it.
Yeah, good. Of all the dice I have here, I still can't find a D8. That's a D10.
Yeah, I do.
There we go. Oh, max damage. That is 12 points of damage, and its movement speed becomes 0.
Okay, sounds good. So 12 points. Okay, you see it as it turns to fire. It does get the beam off, but then this huge fist slams it into the side of the eye, and you can see that there's this bit of greenish purple blood that starts to drip down, and you can see this huge eye just blink over and over as it sort of turns back and focuses on you. No sound emitting from it, but this tongue almost slurps and almost sort of slaps your chin. That's its turn because it can't move. So the next to go will be Barclays.
Right. So I'm on the Pegasus, right? How far can I move?
Oh my god! It's just like
It's about 120 feet, right?
Yes, correct.
All right, great. So what I would like to do is I'm going to talk to the Pegasus. Say, do you mind if I borrow some of your feathers, friend?
You hear a response immediately.
Yes.
It will be done.
Okay. So I as we're flying, I pluck 2 feathers out, and then I put them together in my hands, and then grab the reins, and then fly down. First person I'm flying towards is Rook.
So you're going to go fly directly above Rook or next to it?
I'm going to fly close to him, like within 5 feet, and with incredible equestrian prowess, I will lean over the side as I've kind of and just high five, buddy. Yeah, and I just touch his hand, right? And so now he has enhanced ability, bears endurance.
All right, could you describe that for Rook?
All right, so it requires me to touch, right? So he's touched. The target has advantage on Constitution checks. It also gains 2d6 temporary hit points, which are lost when the spell ends. So 2d6. Well, that's 5 extra hit points. Not much, but the advantage is the idea. And then I'm gonna loop around to Amara. Amara again, high five.
Yep.
She's also got Bear's Endurance as well.
Okay.
Because I'm casting this at level 4, so I can actually do it with 2 people.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right.
So again, you get advantage on Constitution checks now. And
So those are ability
2d6.
checks, not saving throws.
it says the target has advantage on Constitution checks.
Oh, you're rolling.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And your temporary hit points are 8
Yeah.
as well. And do I have some movement left?
Let's have a look.
Where is the closest praying mantis?
Yeah, you have about 50 feet of movement left. And the closest is going to be about the same distance between the top one and the bottom one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You can reach either one, but you can't reach the very top. You can reach the one on the top left, that's in front of the gate, or the bottom one.
Okay. I'll go for the bottom one, and I'll just say to my friend, we're going to go for that bottom praying mantis looking thing. Can you charge him?
You hear a voice in your headset that says, "Shall I attack?"
With everything you've got.
It will be done. And are you going to go right up to it?
Yeah.
Alright. So you fly, and the Pegasus simply charges, its wings furled in as it gives a huge neigh, and it's musical and beautiful in its sound. And you rush towards this creature. Thank you. And it will attack. Can you do an attack as well?
I can do good question. So that spell is an action that I cast, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was an action. So let me just check one thing. Bonuses. I'll just have a bardic inspiration ready to go, that's all.
Sounds good. Okay. So
Papa Bardic.
Papa Bard.
Papa Bard. Shit.
okay. It slams his skull into this insect-like creature that tries to, with this two-handed pole with these blades at either end, ricochet off, but it's just not quick enough. That doesn't do a lot of damage, it seems. The insect creature is quite tall and bulky, and it holds its sort of movement. It doesn't seem to fall over or anything, but it does do a little bit of damage. You see that a bit of its natural armor just tears off, but it doesn't give any sound. So that'll be that. Okay. Is that all you're doing?
Yeah.
All right. Look, what are you doing?
Wasn't much really.
Oof. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on it.
On which one?
On the creature in the center that's next to a marker.
Sounds good.
And it's a bonus action. And I'm going to... Where did I go?
We're right there. Well, where are you? Where did Rook go?
Oh crap! Sorry. Where did Rook go?
He's dead!
For some reason, I put him there and not Barclays. So he's still there. Barclays, where did you go? You went here. Sorry, just wrong place. There you go.
Well, there you are.
You're in the center.
Okay, I'm going to dart between these crowds, I guess, up just a couple of feet.
Okay, now to do so, they at this point have really started to pack in, and as you move, you notice that the direction that you're traveling, you feel packs of the crowd emerge sort of directly around you. Now, where are you moving specifically? Sorry.
So diagonally.
Yep. Like top right.
Top left.
Top left. So you're trying to move through that large.
Well,
square.
yeah. I mean, doesn't really matter, but between the large and the small square.
Okay. So what I get you to do is first of all make a strength check. This is all part of your movement, but it just tells me how well you do.
Plus is 11.
11. Yeah, that's fine.
And then back one more from that.
All right. So just to clarify.
Is this thing floating in the air?
Yeah, slightly off the ground.
So I can still see it amongst the crowd?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so just again tell me where and how far.
So really it's just 2 spaces upwards, but to the right. So it's really between the two. Yeah, that's it. Bang on there, yeah. And can I ask that, do I always get advantage on an attack, or is it just like a one use, or how long is it for?
It's a concentration spell, so it's you get Constitution
So it's not for attack.
so it's for
Oh,
inbound.
that's right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm going to attack it.
With what?
Just a bow.
Go for it.
So I don't really have any buffs other than the 2, so I'll roll both of them at the same time.
Sure.
So a 20 and a 26, and that's just a normal 20.
Okay, both hit.
Okay. And damage. The first one is
You looked like you were already defeated. You were like...
15 plus... Sorry, sir.
That's okay.
20 damage.
20 points of damage.
20 points of damage.
Okay.
And the second one is a 11 and a 5 is 16 on top of that.
Calm down, alright?
I haven't even got my full potential
The
yet.
first shot hits it straight into the eye, the large one, and you hear it screech as it whirls around once this eye hit with such force that it almost comes completely out of its socket, and you see this huge green and purple gush of blood start to pour out into its mouth and past it down and dripping onto the sand below. The second shot finishes off the eye itself and the creature as the eye completely disengages from the body. You see these veins and other gooey parts just flop onto the ground. The creature is now limp, and it takes a couple of quick gasps before it falls still. It is dead.
Wait a minute. How are you doing this?
Insect. Is that one of the insects?
It was the one in the center.
It
If you
was
can
that
see it.
ball, the green ball with the
Oh.
eyes.
You killed it.
I unaware, maybe even unaware, I still crouched down, holding the blackness that I think's engulfed my side.
Sure.
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Next to go. This voice appears in your head again. Gunnar, it says, "Tell me, Char, if you know the spells you cast, then what is the spell that I have?" And as you hear that in your mind, around you, you now see a slight shimmer or a glow with the entire crowd. This bluey white slight sheen that they are all emitting as they ignore you all completely, but are slightly moving towards you. This crowd in different little sets, falling over each other towards each of your directions.
Do they look real? Or do they look like they're like an illusion?
Make a wisdom saving throw for me as you try and figure that out. Actually, no, sorry, it's just investigation. Make an investigation check as you are figuring that particular bit out.
That's actually good for me.
25. You look, and your hand almost goes and wants to touch one of these things, but then one of these crowd people, this particular human that already has some tooth missing and there's blood coming out of his face. But then you sort of put your hand back for a moment thinking, I don't want to get involved, but then one of his arms flails and misses in a punch, and with a yell, you get a ricochet. It doesn't do any damage, but it does make contact with you. You figure that these people are real.
I just realised I should be rolling at disadvantage because I am exhausted.
You are exhausted. That's
Sorry.
okay. For the purposes of this, you
Wow.
still realise
Yeah.
that. But just for the future reference.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot as well, so that's all good. So, what are you doing?
Do I recognise anything that would tell me what spell this is?
I can't check those. Yeah.
One of those is really good.
Nervous laughter.
Hang on a second. So it was an 8, but I'm going to use my my side boosted ability, and it should be back to normal because I've had a rest since I last used it. So it is a D8. 12.
12. Nothing comes to mind in terms of it certainly seems like some sort of spell and one that would manipulate people and doing things that otherwise they might not want to do. So charm might be the first thing you think of, but on such a grand scale it's quite difficult to even conceive. And as you think of this, you hear this voice in your mind say, Meta psionics, but you did not perhaps go through those lessons, did you? We didn't have time back in the day. It's been so long, Char. You probably don't even know the name anymore. And you look, it's almost like the voice is coming from directly in front of you now. As you almost focus and you hear this voice, not just in your mind, but whispering and talking softly over the crowd's drone of yells and screams and shouts. And as you look over, you see from the stands a familiar or somewhat familiar person standing on the ledge, and as she jumps down and almost floats down, she continues in your mind, she says, it is augmenting my other psionic powers. It also contains some utility powers. It's magic was introduced some time ago, but it increases and expands your power of what you already know. And thus I can use this on multiple beings, if not hundreds. It is unfortunate that you were not taught such a thing, but we still see potential in you. And that is all she'll say, but what she does do is start to move towards you. Simply, and as you watch her walking, her feet are slightly off the ground. She's walking on air, and the crowds seem to, as they are coming close to her, misdirect their attacks and move and part, and they step aside as she very easily makes her way through this packed, sweaty, hot now populace. She's gonna go here. Okay. Thulram, what are you doing?
How does
spell? Can I not cast a spell?
Your initiative has not come
Oh,
about.
sorry. Okay.
No, that's okay. No problem.
Felt like it was my turn.
No,
Sorry.
I understand. No,
Sorry.
no, that was
Wow.
that was just a
Flavor, flavor.
sort of a free action on her part. Go for it.
how did my party look?
Make a perception check for me. This time
13.
with disadvantage. The crowd is
13.
what's that?
13.
13 again. Looking at them, I mean, Rook is holding his side as though he's injured. He's wincing a little bit, but the others seem to be not just fairly focused and just looking around a little bit.
How far is it to the furthest side of the arena?
From where you are, so just from left to right, basically. You'd probably, if you don't dash, you'd need about 3 rounds to get there.
About 180 feet.
Yeah, ish.
Alright, so I'm going to give Dispel Magic another crack, this time at 3rd level, so it's a DC 13.
Roll badly.
As you close your eyes once more and you think about the small numbered, probably 50 to 60 people directly in front of you that you're trying to understand the magic and then miscast it, nothing. They continue to brawl, and you notice that this glow does not subside.
Can I take a move action?
Yeah, what are you doing? Where are you going?
I'm going to leap down into the arena.
Yep,
Okay.
that's easily done.
Okay, 6 foot.
You're fine.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you've just landed in the sand. You look down and you see the remnants of what was Barclays' large bee that was, I guess, written in the sand before he went up to joust. Are you moving anywhere else?
Take my full move without dash, etc., just towards Gunner, towards the center of the
Towards Gunner?
Yeah.
As you do, automatically you see that this group of people almost bunch up around you, not really taking notice of you, but causing you to need to try and push past, and these bodies are starting to emerge and on top. Make a strength check, please. Just a strength check.
Hey. That is my apologies. That is a 15.
Okay. You take no effort in pushing past people.
Hurling people.
Just
Just hurling them around.
It wouldn't be the first time we fucking threw people from things, would it?
5, 10, 15, 20,
Don't know what you're
25,
talking about.
30. You are right next to Gunner now. You're right next to it. You only took you only took 20 feet of movement.
Can I use that same roll to push anyone that's standing around him or jostling him just out of the way?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
I've got a body.
You notice that the crowd now moves a little bit away from you, so you have a little bit of breathing space as you just try and protect Gunner as he's sort of he's looking directly in another direction to you. He's just focused on one thing. You don't know what.
I yell towards Gunner. I say, Gunner, I've seen a lot of riots. Don't get trampled.
Sure.
Right? Is that all you're doing?
That's all I'm doing.
Okay, Gunner, you're up.
Do the insect creatures look like they are just holding position, or do they look like they're ready to run in a particular direction?
Make another perception check, please.
Fuck. 6.
You are quite short, even though their sort of chest and head are above the crowd, and dust is filling the air, and so you're not sure.
Yeah.
I guess what their intentions are.
Sorry, it was higher than that, but it probably would make a difference.
What was it?
It is 8.
8? No, same thing.
I was using Thulrom's perception, not mine.
That's okay. Go for it.
Okay. So she's moving towards me.
Yes.
I will walk towards her. Because I don't really know who she is.
Okay.
I know that she looks like the person that was instructing me.
In your vision, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna walk towards her, but I'm gonna ready an action if I can to cast a spell.
Is it mind sliver?
No.
Okay. That's okay. You don't worry about not telling me what the spell is.
Okay.
If you prefer not to let me know, that's fine.
The trigger is if that person looks like they're going to become hostile towards
Towards
me.
you?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. How far are you moving? Your full movement?
Yep. Full movement.
And what movement is that?
30 feet.
30. Okay. As you start to move, as you noticed Thulrom coming up towards you and have had to push people out of the way because they seem to converge onto him. The same with you. And as you try and push your way under and through, the crowds, in particular directly in front of you, for some reason, are pushing you inward. You feel this sweat, this blood from someone else on your arms. Make a strength check as you try and make your way through it.
If I'm right next to him, can I help him?
He's now moved away from you. That's,
That almost would have been funny if I had 2.
2? Okay. You move only 5 feet. And as you move only 5 feet towards this person, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw now. As bodies start to push up against you, and their weight is almost overwhelming.
I don't know why, but while Gunner was walking away from Thulrom, I was just in my head, you know the Lonely Island? I just felt in my head it was cool guys don't look at explosions.
Okay, I'm walking away.
I told you not to get trampled.
10.
A 10? Okay.
I'm thinking BGs.
Thulrom, you watch
Pretty good walking songs. Very good
Gunner,
walking songs.
you watch as Gunner disappears in this mess of people.
Actually,
Yeah.
can I use my bonus action if I start to feel like I'm actually getting hurt, can I transform into my psionic
Yes, you can.
form? That happens.
Okay.
So you sort of get swallowed up by the mass of people, and then like a bright light starts to erupt from underneath this mass of people, and he gets bigger.
All right.
That's the noise it makes.
Love that.
So, what does that change if you take any damage? Just confirming.
I take less damage.
Okay, sounds good. Well, the damage was 8. Bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning damage, and it's from a magical means.
Yes.
Yep. So it's half.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
This bright yellow light emerges from where Gunnar was, and in your mind you hear well, it seems like you have grown. So, next up, we've got the insect-like creatures.
God
As
damn it.
Also, they have the ability somehow to miss the crowd. But as you all watch, anyone who notices, these creatures start to shimmer, and more than one of them seem to appear beside each other. There are now 3, one beside each other of the same look, but in a blur, as they all start to converge. Actually, that one's going to stay where it is. These others are going to move, and the crowd parts for them as well. That one might not. Barclays, how far off the ground did you end up? Because of your movement, you don't have a lot, just bear that in mind.
How far? Well, I'm on my Pegasus, so how far? Like he managed to headbutt the.
He did, so that was your movement. I'm going to have to say you are hovering, but probably within reach.
Yeah.
The others go.
Boom.
Oh, they can reach there. Okay, so let's have a look here. Okay. So the first one is not going to do anything, the one closest to the gate. The second one, closest to Rook, that has moved through the crowd, is going to make 2 weapon attacks with this pole with the blades on either end towards you. Let me see. That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
The first one. Okay, I'll roll one more time. That is a 5 to hit.
No.
So just the first one hits you, and that will do
Anxious
4
like
points of
Judas.
slashing damage. And as this blade slices across your chest, you feel this searing pain of almost a burn as it makes contact. And this thing just clicks towards you. This other one goes towards you, Barclays, with these 2 attacks. The first one is a 11 to hit, and the second one is a 20 to hit.
What did my Pegasus do though?
It's so this creature can aim for either one, and it chose to aim for you.
It hit me.
Yeah, okay. So that one does hit, and it will do. Oh,
1,000 damage.
It will do 2 points of slashing damage towards you.
Excellent.
Okay.
Consider yourself slash.
Amara, what are you doing?
Did I see this woman walk into the crowd?
Make a perception check. Free action.
Yeah.
That is a 13.
You do.
Okay, I'm gonna use my full movement to move right up to her, which I can with 45
Alright.
feet.
Now, 5, 10. It's at the 10-foot mark, and I'll need to get you to make a strength check as the crowd starts to move in. Unless you have something else for me.
If all these people are theoretically converging together, are they creating shadows amongst themselves?
They are very small shadows, but directly underneath them.
Okay.
The sun is still
Crotch.
probably about it's probably about the 2:30 mark in the afternoon. So they're not casting out too much of a shadow for them to move too much past them.
But I could like crawl shadow jump, right?
You can try.
My strength is terrible, so I'm gonna like if I see these people like coming towards me, I'm not gonna crawl. I'm gonna drop right down into like a squat position. I'm gonna try and see through these people for some sort of shadow as far as I can, and I'm gonna try and shadow jump.
As you look down and through, the only shadow you see, and let me know if you still want to by the time I describe it, the only shadow you see are the shadows directly underneath these crowds. Now, that would mean if you landed,
Take them out.
you would essentially be underneath them.
Oh, like they're standing on me then. Okay, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna,
Okay.
as I go
Make a
through.
strength check for me.
Shit. No, I'm not gonna use that dice. I'm gonna use the big dice for the strength check.
Strong die.
I should have, that's good, that's a 17.
That will work. You go another 10 feet. I need you to make another strength check. Every 10 feet you see these crowds converging.
Oh, that's not as good, that's a 5.
A 5. At that point, make a constitution saving throw as your movement stops.
But I get
And this-
advantage with Bear's Endurance, right?
Constitution saving throw, yes,
Yes.
you do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
I needed
Class.
that was good. That's a 14.
A 14? Okay. You don't get overwhelmed by the weight. You duck and move, and you manage to not overcome, but just simply dodge this mass of bodies and arms and legs that are trying to crush you.
Can I try and rather than like push through, can I try and like jump over?
You have another 10 feet
Like-
of movement? No, wait, what's your movement?
45.
We have another 25 feet of movement, so make an acrobatics check for me.
Yeah. That's still probably not good. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Ooh! It's good. That's a 20.
A 20, okay. So you want to move right up to her?
I want to move where I can punch her.
Okay, you get that 20 feet, and you all see, if you're focusing on her, Amara leap upward, and with an enormous jump, with one hand on the head of a brawler, leap off of it, and just walk on the heads and shoulders of others, and then a front flip, and then landing directly in front of this woman, who is very white skinned with a flowing black dress, long thin arms, these piercing dark eyes you can't really make out the exact colour, this extremely long pointed nose, who looks slightly taken aback, but in your mind she says, a companion of Gunner's, perhaps a protector.
I'm gonna say back in her mind. So you're here for Gunner then? He has a lot of friends. I would run away if I were you.
Make an intimidation.
Be gone!
Disadvantage.
Vanish.
That's a 16.
A 16, okay. Let's just roll. Okay, cool. You notice at her feet that she is above ground. She's not touching the ground at all, but she does take a step back and in a bit of a guarding position. And she sort of shakes her head a little bit and gives you a smile back and says, he's coming with me this time. In your mind.
And I'm gonna just say, back in her mind, I'm gonna say, good luck, and then I'm gonna boom, boom,
Alright,
if
go
I
for it.
In the tit, each tit.
can. No. So the first one is a 17 plus 7.
That'll hit.
The second is a 18 plus 7.
Nice.
That'll hit.
So, 5 damage to the first, and 5 damage to the second, and then my bonus action, I'm gonna punch her in the tit.
Hey. Only you can do that.
And I probably miss because it's a solid 11.
Okay. So the two strikes get her right in the jaw on both, and you hear this slight crack. She is solid. She is able to be hurt, and you inflict some some paint upon her. The third she's ready for, and she uses a hand, but weirdly enough, there's no contact. But you feel your hand deflect away.
I don't like this.
Some sort of force appears to have caused that second one to miss.
I'm gonna yell out, guys, over here! And then that's all we're gonna do.
Okay. At this point, you all watch as the crowd becomes more and more. Looking around the top of the stadium, you even see the other competitors start to brawl that are on the ground. You see around you people from the doorways that lead into the stadium. You see people start to come in as well from those doorways and pack the seats. So the seats are almost packed at this point as well, within seconds. And in the middle where the sand is, you see that around each of you, the crowds, in almost a yell in unison, converge onto all of you in your different spots and try and crush around you. Everyone, please make me a strength saving throw.
Ooh.
Strength saving throw, please.
Oh. 13.
15.
Partly.
I don't want to be submitted, so I'm going to use my body.
That's fine.
Yes.
That's so good. That's good.
Together it's 17.
Okay.
What are you worried about?
Yeah.
It was a 10 to begin with.
Oh.
The 3. Thulroms.
21.
21. Okay. So, Thulroms. Right. So.
Roleplay. I'm not being gentle with these people around me. My patience has run out.
Okay. However, as you all are now needing to push away these people that are trying to surround you, they're not making eye contact in particular with you. They almost think you're not there, but they are moving their bodies on top of each other now, like worms now. They're almost they seem tired. As people under some sort of effect, they seem worn out, and they're only just half-heartedly now throwing punches, but they are moving still towards you all, and you have to take time to push them out of the way, and you almost, Rook, you get someone who, as you push, someone bites on your finger as you accidentally make contact with his mouth, but you sort of shake him away. Thulrom, as you try and resist these people as well, you look over, Gunnar has been surrounded. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
8.
8, okay.
Are you right up next to it?
As you see the shimmering yellow light, that is a 12 points of non-magical bludgeoning damage. And you hear a voice in your head, Gunnar, that says, "Tick tock. Time does not last. Teach me and surprise me with what you've learnt thus far." And at that point, we're going to pause and we're going to take a 10-minute break as these crowds are converging onto everyone and you are becoming overcome with sweat and blood and bodies.
Slippery.
We're going to take a 10-minute break and we're going to... Oh, wow,
We should
my
change the
camera
lighting.
really moved. Sorry, guys. And then we're going to come back to see how they can possibly come out of this.
Okay.
So,
We don't.
we'll be back in 10 minutes.
For season 2.
Yeah, welcome to Michele's new campaign.
It is something they've never come across before. So,
Crowns.
I will... It's about 8:40. We'll come back at 10 to 9, and we hope everyone can join us. And we'll see you everyone soon.
Thanks,
again, guys. We'll see you shortly.
And we're back.
Are we back or some
We're-
of us?
we're-
Players
welcome back, everybody.
Hey, welcome back to the stream.
Oh, hi.
We're back.
We broke the fourth wall.
Gee, as usual,
What happened?
it's Thorum.
Thulroms, always disappointing us.
Amazing. That was great.
Oh, we're back to the other overlay.
Oh, are we? Lol.
No. Here we are.
Here we go. Are you switching it now?
That's what I got.
The fourth wall is definitely broken. Look at the top of that curtain right there.
Smoosh.
Smooth.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Are they from tonight?
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good break.
Yeah.
And we are in the middle of which is an interesting thing. I think it'll work out because now we're right at the back of the top of the round. So,
That was one round.
yes, it was. Yeah.
Oh no, we're all gonna die.
I mean, there's a lot happening, so bear with me. There won't be any bad. So, is everyone all good?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Are we?
Anything you want to shout out?
Is anyone chaotic or evil
Don't get it.
or lawful?
That's a
Good.
good.
Everyone's all good.
I would like to rage. Can I ask something? I know it's not my turn. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Wait your turn.
Are you taking no action?
Can I know that I said I was holding it for the
I'll
when,
let you.
but I feel like I'm being attacked.
Look,
I feel personally attacked, and
just for that, go for it.
Yeah, okay. ooh, this is a bad thing. But it's just.
Is it gonna?
It's char. It's just a flame char, not gonna.
It's gonna kill more instantly.
Yeah. So, there'll be like this sudden like vacuum of silence. Are the people on top of Gunner making noise?
Yeah, they really are making noise.
Okay. I will. Yeah, let it loose. So this like the sound will like kind of like disappear from that spot for a moment. Like, you know how sometimes when you like hold something up to your ear and you feel that like silent sound, it's like that.
You hear the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but not
sometimes
quite. Like you
it
just
goes
feel it.
silent.
Like the sound
calm
disappears.
voice.
Yeah, and then a huge explosion of force will just erupt from Gunner, and I'll point it towards her. Actually, I'm sorry if anyone gets in the way.
Oh, it's just me.
Hang on. Yeah, no, it's just one group of people. It won't hit anyone else, I think.
Yes.
So, it's a 15-foot cone, and I'm casting
What's the range?
15-foot cone.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I think you meant sort of width. Okay, yeah.
So, oh, hang on, is it?
You won't be far enough.
Ooh, it's a
to-
30-foot cone.
Sure.
It's bigger.
And you're aiming it towards
Yeah.
in that direction.
Yeah.
You still won't 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You still won't get. You probably get just over halfway towards.
Yeah, I don't want to hit her specifically. I'm just letting the energy go.
Sure.
So you're gonna have to work out who's the what.
You made it like.
Okay. Yes.
I think I get hit by that.
No, you're too far away.
Ish.
It's a 30-foot cone.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a bit further away.
Thought he was aiming it at her.
15,
He is, but in that direction.
Yeah, it doesn't quite reach you. It's that it hits that edge of the big group just behind you.
I was just
Correct.
waiting for my death. It's no big deal.
So, with that, what's the spell effect?
Okay, I'll just read you the. You create an intense pressure. This is so bad. Where is it? You create an intense pressure, unleashing a 30-foot cone. Unleashed in a 30-foot cone, and the pressure can push or pull. I'm gonna push. Each creature in that cone must make a con saving throw. A creature takes 6d6 force damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
and every creature that fails the save is either pulled 15 feet toward or pushed 15 feet away from you,
Oh my god.
depending on the choice you made for the spell. In addition, any unsecured objects that are completely within the cone are likewise pushed or pulled. But yeah, so 15 con save.
Okay, so you're putting it in a 15 foot, sorry, 30 foot cone direction, and it's a cone.
Yeah.
It's going to actually affect Rook as well.
No, I think it won't.
You reckon it won't? It goes to the...
Because it goes 5 in front,
Mm.
and then 5 on either side, doesn't it?
Right,
Isn't that how it works?
Yes. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, so Rook.
I'm just trying to count it, but it's hard to disclose it. I think.
No, that's fine. No, I agree. Rook's just out of that radius.
I feel my head on.
You do.
But you'll definitely feel the pressure. Like it's like
Have you got a man bun?
Yeah.
The whole time?
you had a man bun this whole time.
Wow. Right.
So, I roll under a 10 for all of the crowds. So do some damage. Just roll the once and I'll apply it to all of them. Each.
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are affected. 6 groups.
So wasn't that great actually? Because I rolled a 2 and 2 1s in that. So the total is 23 force damage.
23 force damage.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
rolled-
76.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That could have been a lot more.
Yes. You watch as these, in this enormous, almost wind-like movement, topples over the crowds directly in front of you. And they move how far?
15 feet in any direction, in the direction away from me. So like as the cone would push them 15 feet in any direction. Actually, that would really push them on top of the rock. Sounds boo.
Yeah, so they don't move because there's someone there. Actually, they will take up space over the top. But for the purposes of this, so everyone can see, Rook will stay there. And then Amara will get affected as well. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15. So the middle right-hand side of the stadium is now clear as crowds just get toppled over one another. You hear the breaking of bones as people get just tossed like a sudden gale, and you hear
There's lots of words.
and you do see a few still unconscious or dead bodies on the ground. It hasn't seemed to stop though those crowds from getting back up and wearily going at each other again. But because of the movement that the crowds have had on Amara and Rook, I need Amara and Rook to make strength saving throws again.
What did you think about that?
Should be an ad for Claritin. Strength. Plus, I get that.
18. Rook, you managed to push them away. Amara, you're not so lucky. You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's fine.
From people just getting, you get hit full in the face by someone's back, and it sort of almost topples you over by the force, and you seem to just almost push it away at the same time.
Do I hit the chick? Do I fall into the chick?
No, because you personally don't move 15 feet. It was the crowd that did, and just managed to topple you.
Good.
Okay. What else are you doing?
No, that's not even my turn. That was just the held
That's
action.
the held action.
Yeah.
So Barclays, up to you. What are you doing?
Yes.
As you hear behind you that yell, or the group of yells, and you look back and you see that the crowd has just been blown over.
Does my Pegasus have an action?
It does.
Alright, I'll just say to him.
You know, they'll attack at the same time as you.
Oh, okay. I was just going to get him to disengage.
The creature doesn't have a disengage skill per se.
Mm-hmm.
Just the dexterity of this creature. The speed is fine,
Yeah.
but just the position that it's in and the type of creature that it is, it doesn't have a way to quickly go out of an attack of opportunity per se.
Okay.
Osei.
Get out.
So for me to disengage, I would need to use an action to disengage, or I could just fly off and take the attack of opportunity.
You could do that too.
Okay, so how does... So Rook is standing on top of a pile of people because he got out because he's strong.
Pretty much.
Amara is...
I'm drowning in people.
She's drowning people's... Yeah, all types of things.
Mm-hmm.
And Thulrom,
Killing it. I'm fine.
he's fine as well.
To your imagination, it's turned pretty dirty where Thorum's at. I'm grabbing ponytails,
Swinging kids around by their ponytails.
I'm fish hooking people and throwing them left and right.
That's probably because just one hand just slapped you just like that.
It's gotten dark.
I feel like you should take some levels in
Right, I'm going to take the attack of opportunity then, and see how I fare.
All right. Where are you moving to first?
I'm gonna try and move above Amara.
You're gonna
Fly.
above Amara. Oh, you can easily get there. So above Amara is directly on top of a group of people, basically. Yes.
Yeah.
You're directly on top of a small crowd of people.
And behind the lady,
Mm.
because I suspect that she might know something about what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I will
The lady.
put cast confusion.
Okay. What's the DC?
So if I do this, you guys don't have the saves anymore. So it breaks my concentration on that. So I have to, it's 15 by the way.
Salisbury.
Okay.
Oh, you lose your 10.
It's a 15 wisdom.
You got 10 bonus hit points.
She rolled a 17. She does save against it.
This time. Okay, so and has
And at that point, she looks up towards you, and in your mind, you hear, "Seems like Char does have some friends." Go on.
does she say that out
in your
loud?
mind.
In my mind. Who's Char?
Oh my god.
All right.
I just want to see what she says.
Nothing, but a confused look starts to emerge on her face, and then a slight smile. A response does eventually come to you, and she says, in your mind, "He has not shared his secrets."
Well, there's lots of things that we like to share and don't share.
Why do you make that sus?
So that was my action. I'm gonna move to within range of her, so just within 5 feet. And how are you? Like, how can I look at Amara? How is she doing?
I have a few bruises, but I'm still, surprisingly, still standing.
I'm gonna use my bonus action. Congratulations, you now have Bardic Inspiration, my friend.
Yay!
That's me.
All right. With that, you still take the attack of opportunity, which I haven't rolled yet.
That was so 2 minutes ago.
That is a 17 to hit you. It does not.
That's not it.
The flurry of blades are too much, and it hooks one of the blades in place, and you just shove it out of the way. This insect-like creature just flails for a moment and then readies itself again. This blur appearing side by side, it's almost hard to see where it is as you fly off.
Did it have any facial expressions?
No, none that you can gauge what it would be thinking.
Right. Okay. Does it have eyebrows?
No eyebrows, interesting enough.
Okay.
Rook,
I just want to know if they're like. Oh.
Rook, what are you doing?
Does it?
Okay, so will it take an action? These insect creatures, are they similar to the ones that we were looking at the beginning of the campaign?
describe where you were thinking of.
In the tavern when we got the mission to go actually investigate the insect-like creature that we didn't know anything about.
I see. The spectacle in Mist Marsh
correct.
isn't what you're seeing in front of you, no.
Okay.
That was a demonic
You're seeing its
creature.
parts.
These don't look demonic per se.
Yeah.
They do look extremely, much more insect-like than actual demon in look. They don't have the same scaly skin, or they don't have They don't have as a wicked of a look.
Have I, again, with this taking action, would it take an action to understand how I have heard of these creatures before?
No, you won't take an action. Just make a nature check for it.
Finally. Hope I didn't waste that. 15.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've come across these creatures, particularly in the Mournland, but at a distance. They seem to. There's only one place that you recall seeing these creatures, and it's not a good memory. You know these things that were told to you as Thrycreen. Thrycreen are intelligent insect-like beings that scan and explore, but the way you saw them, they were feasting on what looked to be humanoid figures of an abandoned or almost abandoned village some years ago, and you know from what was told to you that these beings do like the taste of human flesh.
Yeah, okay.
That's all you really got told about them.
And I don't know if you can tell me this, but when we run past the crowd, are they taking an attack of opportunity?
No, they don't seem to. The crowds seem to part as they walk through.
Okay. I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike.
Okay, go for it.
Actually, I need to ask you this. So whenever I kill an opponent, I get to use Hunter's Mark for free. Like, as in free, as in not costing a spell slot.
Sure.
But it's a bonus action to do so. Would I need to use that instantaneously, or can I use that at my will? It doesn't specify. Just says use it as a bonus action. After you drop a creature with 0 hit points.
Okay, well okay, so you could do it now, that's fine. And then you know on your next, if you wanted to move it, you'd need to drop it to 0 hit points.
Well, the question is, can I use Zephyr Strike? And
Yes.
will I still get that Hunter's Mark without costing a spell slot?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's fine.
Alright, so I cast Zephyr Strike, and I'm going to move away from my adversary. And
Whereabouts?
with all the movement of the crowd, would I have seen Amara?
Make a perception check.
That's a 20.
Yeah, absolutely, you did.
Um,
You saw her leap over people and land safely directly in front of this woman that doesn't seem to have these crowds converging on her.
So I would have seen the woman as well. I'm going to be in line towards her.
Alright. Zephyr Strike allows you to move more
60 feet and without attack of opportunity.
without attack of opportunity. That would mean creatures don't attack you. However, the speed and movement up until here will be fine, simply because of the crowd that's gathering around.
Big take on 65 feet.
That's
Yes,
all-
that helps.
No, that's good. It still will allow you to get to her, but I will still need you to make one strength saving throw. Strength check to move past them. Not saving throw, just a check.
Yeah, plus 2, 16.
Yeah, that's fine. So you managed to shove past them in your speed. You can go. Where do you want to go specifically? At the moment, you're underneath where Amara is. You're just down 1 square.
Do I have any more movement?
Yeah, you do. You have another 10 feet.
Would it have been possible to... Oh, yeah, come behind it.
Yep. There you go.
Do you want me to roll strength again? Or?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
For once, it's fine with Zephyr Strike.
And I'm going to attempt to... Okay, I'm going to use my primal awareness.
Swords come out of the ground. It's not shooting.
As an action, you
Based
can
on this
one
music.
range slot. So for any aberration, celestial, dragon, elemental, fae. Hang on, sorry, no, that's the wrong one. Hunter sense. As an action, choose one creature you can see within 60 feet. You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage, immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities. So
Okay. You close your eyes, and as you appear behind her very quickly, you open them and you focus on her. What was the first
creatures.
So you know
sorry,
what kind of creature?
You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage, immunities,
Yeah.
resistances, or vulnerabilities.
None of any.
That's it.
Sweet.
Can I use my at will to sense whether or not there is any fiends or demons here?
Yes. As you once again close your eyes and your senses expand.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Okay. Yep, that's it.
Okay. Rook's turn is done. This lady now looks around her and she sees Amara and she sees Rook, apologies, and she will, in both of your minds, say, well, it seems like I must make for my quarry then. She is going to essentially disappear from this spot. Oops. And she will
Wait.
reappear.
Can we punch her if she goes?
If she moved out of range and she was
No,
still
she's not. She's
visible, she simply vanishes. And
That
she
bitch.
reappears directly next to Thulrom. You suddenly see this woman about 15 feet away that Amara and Rook were going towards, but she is now right next to where you saw Gunnar. That he's now just this yellow light, but still trying to.
Did she use a spell?
She seemed to.
Counterspell.
Okay.
I have a question also,
Please.
just in case counterspell doesn't work. But creatures still provoke opportunity attacks from me, even if they disengage.
It's not disengage. It's a spell.
And I know they're not disengage. I know she's not disengaging,
That's right.
but like, is it kind of like a slow fade, or is it just like?
I know what you mean. Like,
Your
Do you know
maybe
what I
it
mean?
would-
Yeah.
it could be
Because
all
if I was
matter in
like-
that area goes with it, so your hand could go
There
with
is
it
a-
potentially. And
There
it's
is
falling
a
to the side.
feat that lets you attack.
No, that's fine. I just want to know if it's a slow fade. I might have time.
I know what you mean. I'll let you have a strike against one strike against her. Yes.
If
One
she gets
strike.
one to open.
It's
No, I have a
Yeah,
feet.
What?
I have a feet.
what is the feat sentinel?
Yeah.
Crossbow.
Yeah. I'll let you do that. Yeah.
But if Rook gets one, do I get one?
Where are you? You're.
I'm within 5
He's
feet as
making
well.
a joke.
I'm on my Pegasus.
No,
within
that's
5
okay.
feet.
Sentinel is a specific one that's fairly quick.
Dad.
The
So-
reason I asked is that if I hit her,
Yeah,
technically
she
her
doesn't-
move is 0.
I see what you
Her
mean.
speed is 0.
I see what you
And
mean.
with the 17 plus 7, I think I
Okay.
might hit her.
Okay, so for the purpose of this, she's not physically moving away.
She's not using
I'll
it.
let you get a strike against her, but she's using a spell
fair.
to banish.
Okay.
However, tell me what your damage is, but are you still doing that,
Yeah.
Gunnar? Okay. And
Right
what,
before
at
she
what level?
Third.
She goes.
Third level?
Mm-hmm.
And the pig's on the other side.
Roll me a d20.
If she fails,
Is it-
it's a attack opportunity.
Is it
She's not
third or
moving.
lower? Or is it higher than third?
It's higher.
Point is that she's not moving
Um,
out of range.
She moved her arms.
Shush. Don't be a jerk. It's 5 points of damage.
5 points, good to know, thank you.
How do you want to do this?
Someone call it.
That's 17.
Take advantage of that at
Okay.
some point.
She starts to fade, but then reappears. And as she does, she sort of looks down and looks around and smiles brightly. Again?
No, that was the
Yeah,
punch
that's good.
that I did.
So she then, it's still her turn. She's
Her speed is still 0.
It
So I
is,
take it for
correct.
you.
Thank you. You did. She cannot move. She's off balance, and as she sort of starts to make herself upright again in your mind, Gunnar, she says, "Tell me the type of spell. I'm very impressed now."
Which one? There are so many spells just then.
The one you performed to have me immobile. Where does it come from? What part of your mind did you use to use it?
Come find out for yourself.
If you let me, then that's her turn. Do you want to respond to that? Okay. Thulrom, what are you doing?
So with my previous roll, is that enough to clear the distance between me and Gunnar?
No, you'll have to roll a new roll. Every turn it will be a new one.
I will roll a new roll. So if I fail this, will I still be able to capture a spell? Sorry, cast a spell?
Yeah, this is simply in your movement phase.
Sweet.
A strength check, please.
Oh, that is... That's a 12.
That's right.
Yeah.
That just makes it.
Ah.
You managed to just make your way. You're feeling a bit weary now, but with that strength waxing, and you are feeling a bit tired from all the pushing and moving away that you had to do, but you managed to pull them aside. They too are failing. Go for it. And how far are you moving?
I'm just moving right up next to Gunnar.
Alright. You
I
push
can
this
use-
crowd out of the way. Go for it.
And then as I reach down, I say, she seems to be... Can I tell from what she did before that she was trying to appear next to Gunnar? Or was that just...
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Give up. Give up. Thulroms.
I'm not quite sure what the purpose. You didn't see her. You actually didn't even see her move away from that far side.
Alright.
Does he
He's
get
like, what's going on with table 1?
Calm yourself.
We're casting charm spells.
It's a bit of a hairy situation.
How far away are the Amara?
50 feet away is Amara.
Excellent. And so 55 feet away is...
Correct.
And 60 feet away would be one spot behind her.
Which is Rook in this instance.
What about... Is there an empty space immediately surrounding their enemy? Or is she...
Yeah, you can go one square above her.
I'd be still within 60 feet?
Yep.
Excellent. I'm going to
That's
cast...
60 feet.
It's the one. I'm going to cast on Guardian of Faith at 4th level. That's all I got. So,
Okay.
with a great flash of white light, spectral dragonborn appears. This dragonborn looks like Thulrom, but spectral and a little bit less rough. Like
You say respectable?
no. Spectral.
You can't have looks like Thulrom and respectable at the same sentence.
And a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier. You can't make out the details of this creature's face. It's just, you know it's a dragonborn, but anytime you try and dial it on the features, it's kind of wispy and it washes away. And if any of my enemies were to start their turn within 10 feet of that celestial being, they would take 20 points of radiant damage, unless they save on a con save, which is 13.
Is it considered a large creature?
It's considered a large creature.
Good to know.
It is considered a large creature. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't specify, but I described it as such. So.
Okay. It's a large creature. This is
What?
essentially a larger version of Thulrom simply appears directly above, to the right of you, Rook, and Amara takes you a little bits that
Are you on clothes? Or are you like Dr. Manhattan?
He's Dr. Manhattan. It's a Dr. Manhattan version.
And so that will dole out 20 points of damage to
Endowment and all.
any of my
Yeah.
enemies within 20 feet of it until it
They're
takes
all
out
gonna
50
cop
feet of damage.
Shit.
50 feet of damage.
50 points of damage, at which point it disappears.
And they need to, it just happens, right?
If they save on that
Kill it.
throw,
Yeah.
it's half damage.
Good to know.
Yeah,
It's on their turn.
on their turn.
It's a
Sounds
we.
good. Okay.
And they start.
Yeah,
in that
perfect.
turn, yeah.
Alrighty. So that is Thorum
stop
emerging power of the divine.
Oh no, there's another one!
Okay, so next we've got Gunner.
I haven't done enough damage already.
Even Rook was like, oh fuck.
What do you mean even Rook? He's not evil.
Even Rook.
Evil.
Evil Rook was like, damn it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Sure. I'm yeah, I'm gonna cast magic missile. Actually, I'm gonna quickly look around at those creatures again. I'm gonna try and clock their movements. Do I see the one that's moved closer to me?
Yes, you do. From your vantage point, you would.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna cast the magic missile at that thing.
Alright.
Magic missile.
Missile.
Magis instant noodles at that.
Go for it.
Creature.
Roll for damage. Oh, you do still need to hit. Is that the special magic missile?
It is the special magic missile.
Roll to hit.
Okay, so that means I'm casting at level 2, so I'm casting one more dart. So it's four times. 4 darts. Having 4 darts. So the first one is 18 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah, it does. The second one is 24 to hit.
24 hits.
I thought you were going to say it doesn't hit, and I got real scared.
The third one is 15 to hit.
That also hits.
Hell yeah.
And the final is 16.
And 16 hits.
That's the first time all of them have hit. Okay, so that's 4.
No need to get emotional.
Sorry. Where is it? 64 damage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll. Oh, that was good. 17 damage.
17 points of damage in total.
Force. Yep. Force damage.
Force damage.
Mm-hmm.
Right, 2 seconds while I work this out. 17 points of force damage is.
So instead of them coming from his hands this time, though, they'll actually just launch out of his glowing energy form. So they're just sort of like coming out of his body on all angles and twisting and twirling and slamming into this creature.
Okay. So, which one again was it? The one directly above you?
Yeah. The one
Alright.
that got closer to me.
Okay.
2 seconds again. Cool. All right. That's better. So, you find that this creature is slammed and the missiles go in between the crowds and they strike all of them into the greenish bronze of its skin. It drops its weapon and is pushed back. Let's see how far. He's going to be pushed back about 10 feet. with that. So, and he takes 24, yeah?
17.
17, sorry, 2017. Okay. Still up, still up, but quite hurt. One of its legs is now shattered, and it looks to be a bit of greenish blood of ichor comes out of it. What else are you doing?
I will move towards old mate.
Now, as this form, what kind of form does this take? Is it sort of ethereal?
No, it's like Dr. Manhattan, but like when he goes nuclear, kind of like where he's like glowing, just pure energy, basically.
Got it. So it's still sort of you, but...
No, so his psionic body is actually a fully formed fully formed adult body. So
Sure.
It's a medium-sized creature.
Okay. That would still mean, however, if you still have some sort of physical form about you, you'll still make a strength check after every 10 feet. So...
But there's no one in front of me. I cleared the space.
Yes, you did, but as you move, it's anyone that's in contact.
Oh, okay.
In this particular regard. So make me one strength check first.
That's a -1.
Now make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
A -1.
Yeah,
As
it's not really negative.
this crowd comes towards you.
Reduce it to 0. Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 10.
Okay, just not enough. And you will take
Not enough.
10 points of non-magical bludgeoning damage as this crowd almost rushes you, but again, not taking notice, but overwhelms you with weight and sickly, slick bodies and blood. So,
I'm glowing a little less bright.
but you can't seem to move any more than that.
So was it 5 feet?
No, 10.
10 feet? Okay.
Yep. Is that all you're doing?
That's it.
All right. So, the insect-like creatures go now. So they're going to move. Now that... It's going to go there. I'm going to use a dash action, actually, to go there. And this one is actually going to move. 15, 20, 30. Oh, he's going to go there, next to Thulrom. And then 5, 10, 15, 20. He's also going to go next to Thulrom. They're going to go... And both of those creatures are going to make 2 weapon attacks as you see them fly through the crowd and fly up towards you in a speed that you haven't seen before in these creatures, Thulrom, as they brandish these weapons, double-bladed, and strike you, both of them, and both attacks. The first one, that's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
The second is a 9.
That misses.
The second one will be a 20 to hit.
That meets beats.
Yeah, meets beats.
That hits.
And the second one is a 16. So 2 hit you.
2 hits.
And they will do... The first one will do 5 points of slashing damage. And the second one is 6. So 11 points of slashing damage in total. And that's all they're doing at the moment. Cool. So that's them. However, this other one, which is over... Where did he go? Where did he go?
Near me.
Thank you. Yes. He's going to get an attack of opportunity from you. So that's just a normal weapon strike. Do you have a weapon that you can strike him with that you'd like to? Unless you have specifically a particular feat that will let you cast a spell.
I haven't equipped a weapon, so...
You can make an unarmed strike against it if you want to. Or just leave it.
I'm just going to leave it.
Okay, sounds good. It's going to just again focus its 2 attacks on you, Thulrom.
Oh, it's 0. No, it's actually 0.
Both miss. You seem to parry both of them with you're holding your mace, I'm assuming. Yeah, is that what you're holding?
Yes. I'd like to imagine I pulled it out.
Yeah, I imagine you did. So just correct me if I was wrong. That's all.
And then if it helps you roleplay it, my mace is in my hand now, so I'm going to use that to yeet any stray members of the crowd.
Okay, good to know.
As well.
Very nice. Alrighty, so that's their turn. Amara.
God, I just want to go. The first thing I want to do is I want to try and locate, if I can, I want to try and find if I can see Osei or Regav
Perception check.
anywhere. I've just got that is a 17.
A 17. Yes, you do. You see Regav in the middle of... Osei is just sitting and looking down... Sorry, looking at Regav, not really taking notice of you guys yet. You're not quite sure of the why. You just imagine she can't see you in this crowd, but she's looking over at Regav, just shaking her head in wonder as he's just going at it. You can see some bruises on his dark blue face as he's taking hits from just anyone around him. And he's turning and punching and yelling, and then just turning 180 degrees and punching again.
Are they like within 80 feet of me?
Yeah, they would be actually.
Okay, I'm going to speak in their mind and I'm going to say, well, separately if I can. So I'll speak to Regav first and I'll say, stop what you're doing, stop fighting, hide. And then I'm going to say to Osei, what's going on? Are you safe? Get Regav to safety. We're trying to fight this thing. It's really bad. And then...
Can they respond?
I don't give them the power to, no.
Okay.
Because that takes an action.
That's okay.
And I'm going to look at this dumb bitch juice in front of me. And I'm going to, in her mind, I'm going to say... Stop! Go away! Why are you doing this? God is innocent, he's just a kid. Well, mostly innocent. He just killed someone. He's not that innocent. But he's pretty innocent.
Can she respond?
Well,
With your power?
not with my power.
Okay. Alright.
With her own.
Does she say anything?
Not yet.
Okay. So then I punch her in the face.
You do, however, hear a shout from above, and Osei yells it down at you. There you are. I will try and get him away. I do not know how. Get out of here. And she sort of is waving beyond you towards the gate, it seems.
I'm going to yell back and I'm going to be like, ah! We have to kill it! And then I'm yelling it, I'm not saying it telepathically. And that's when I'll raise my staff and I'll just like try to get her straight in the side of the head, kind of like I did with Count Bappy.
Sure, go for it.
Hope the spell collapses. 22.
That'll hit.
Can I get you to make a... Can I get you to make a Constitution saving
What's your
throw?
increase of that? Do you not get advantage for flanking?
I
Or
do.
will get just guess that?
And remember, I also gave you fighting as well.
No, I know. Thank you guys. It wasn't naturally.
Just in case.
I think it was roll a Constitution saving throw.
Mine was, however, a nat 20, so she's okay.
Don't you need
Was it
to
okay
roll
or
that?
a saving? That's 8 points of damage,
Okay.
regardless. And then the second hit, I'm going to try and, instead of like sweeping it into her head, I'm just kind of like come and crack her in the side of the skull, and then I'm going to pull back and just jab straight into her face.
Go for it.
Try and break her nose.
It's gonna be nice.
Pointed and large.
It wasn't great. Either at advantage, both of them were like at the most. I think it was a
A 9. Wow, no, does not hit.
So, no, that's fine. 'Cause I got one more strike. I'm saving it. I'm saving it. But
I don't want to go home tonight. We're gonna fucking use it.
no, I need to make you save. That's what I'm saving it for.
I don't want to get the sleep.
Don't tell me how to use my body. You gave it to me. Let me use it how I want. So then after like going and just like kind of I guess stumbling and missing her face, then I'm gonna be like, fuck! Duh!
Go for it.
I'm still rolling advantage, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Hell yeah. That's a 26.
That'll hit.
Can I get you to make no, I can't do that twice in one. I can't do it twice in one. However, it's good. It's very good. It is 8 points of damage.
8 points. Good to know. Thank you. All right. You strike her twice and 3 times, and two of them make contact. And she's sort of very deft, very almost expecting strikes at a particular angle. Even though you're too quick for her, it's as though she raises her hand in expectation of that direction where you'll be hitting her. And you just manage to, with those 2 strikes, go around her arms as they try and raise up to guard against them.
Interesting.
And she, that's actually, no, she won't do that yet. Okay, what else are you doing?
I don't like how you said that. I'm not doing anything else.
Okay.
Actually, no, I will. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, Rook's right there, he can hear me. I'm going to telepathically communicate with Gunnar and Thulroms simultaneously because they're both within 80 feet. And I'm going to say, in their minds, they can't respond. Osei said to run. That's it.
All right. As you say that, the crowds...
As I say that.
The crowds almost as one again collide against you all. Everyone needs to make strength saving throws, please.
Oh, and that's what I was saving my body for.
Good. Good.
Oh, no!
Oh my god! There's no more bardics for you. No more.
It's so bad.
So from this side now, Thurum,
Unnatural 20, so
Oh wow.
you are fine. You managed to, with the mace, just push people away. And you hear in your mind a familiar sound, this coatl spirit within the mace itself of Ado whisper to you, enough of this small, meager magics. You have a task, Thurum.
Thorum's at all sense of decency in this arena fall away. He's macing people left and right.
Yep.
You get a mason. You get a mason.
Okay.
I'm not going for kill blows.
Sure.
I'm trying to like push people away.
You're not mace, you're not
I'm going for ribs and arms.
They're gentle hashes. It's a gentle macing.
What, cool. What did you get, Gunnar?
13.
Okay. Barclays, what did you get?
I got a 19.
You're fine, Amara?
Was this a strength saving throw?
Yes, it was.
I just want to say that with Bardic Inspiration, it's an 8.
Rook? 18. Okay, Amara, you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage as you are crushed side on from your right, from behind, and from the left by just people. And for some reason, they seem to be making a fairly wide berth of just beyond you where this woman is. And everyone else, you are able to push away these people.
This is sexism!
Barclays, you are at the top. What are you doing? You see this.
Yes, I've noticed. Are you under people?
Currently.
like how far under though? Like she's mostly out, mostly in.
Look, she's probably half. Her bottom, from probably her stomach down is probably just being pushed down by people, and she's sort of trying to crawl out of it.
If I just happened to like fly over her and the Pegasus was like low enough, and she was like close enough to use her own wit and ability to grab on without me saying do that, therefore not using an action.
What?
I mean,
What do you know?
That's happenstance, right? Like, my horse was there, she was there, you know.
You have to decide that when you decide not to take your action to do anything, and see if she is responsive to that.
So when it comes to my turn, will I do it?
Pretty
I'll
much.
just hover my horse over her just a little bit. But
Alright.
Just a little bit.
I want to. I'm actually going to quickly contact Gunnar and like, do you need to go to the air?
I'll respond during my turn.
You can.
Oh, now?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'll need for this to happen currently. Because it'll be about what Barclays does.
What?
Do you need to get off the ground? Airborne.
I can do that.
Yourself?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to use my action to pull Amara out.
All right. Make a strength check, please. Are you trying to... He's reaching down to try and grab you. Are you trying to get up?
It's Barclays. I guess I'm going to have to.
All right. Make it with advantage. Just a strength check with advantage, Barclays, as
Okay.
you are pulling Amara up onto the Pegasus.
Ooh, with advantage. So. Ooh.
It's still the same thing.
I could use a bardic as well.
Do it.
Samara we're talking about here.
That's just good. It's still so bad. Everything involving me is just like...
She's meant to just die under all those people.
The people,
What did you roll?
people want
An 8.
In total,
Yeah.
with advantage, with Bardic.
Which is the
My
same thing
God.
that I
Yeah.
rolled.
Okay.
I'm not giving you a bardic again. Now I've got bad bardic luck as well.
You attempt to pull up Amara. I will do an opposing roll just in case. Yeah, of course.
Was it in that 20?
No, but it was higher than 8. You managed to have her
Oh wait. Was I meant to add my strength?
strength modifier.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't do that.
It's a 9.
That's a 9.
Good to know. You, as you attempted to pull up Amara up, the crowd, like grabbing zombie-like people, just mindlessly go and grab your legs and are pulling you back down, and she slips out of your hand, and you fall from probably a good 6 feet in height, slamming your face into the dirt. I'll get you to make just a dexterity check to see if you take any damage from that, because that's a fairly decent slam of the face on the ground.
It's a 6 foot face line.
10.
It's a 10. Okay. You'll take an extra 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you feel blood start pouring out of your nose.
This is how I die.
Now, but she fell just not on people, but
No.
on the dirt.
Yes.
Okay, and how does she look? How do you look?
She looks pretty hurt.
I'm bleeding.
All right, cool. I'm gonna healing hands.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you
Healing
have
hands.
to touch me for that?
Healing word. It's a word.
In that case, no.
It's a word.
Can you use it?
Yeah.
Healing word's a bonus action.
Oh, good.
Hmm.
9.
Nine
And
healing.
I'm gonna use the rest of my movement
That's good.
to pull up my horse next to Amara. And that's it.
All right.
Because that's all I can do.
Rook, you see all this in effect. You see Barclays attempting to pull her out without any success at all. You are directly behind this lady, and directly to your right is this very large version of Thulrum, but glowing and majestic in appearance. What are you doing?
I can't Misty step out with somebody, can I?
No, that's correct. It has to just be you.
Just be me.
Yeah, second level spell, not as powerful as you might think. If you're trying to help someone.
Like
We don't know this woman's name, do we?
At the moment, no, you haven't asked.
What's your name?
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Oh, and do you have your man bunny?
Jesus.
No, I'll say I got pulled out. I got my long locks out.
roll for hotness.
This commotion appears to be a part of your clan.
She turns to you, and in your
Very
mind,
observant, Rook.
he's just gathering the facts.
Thanks, guys.
He's just getting little snippets. In your mind, she says, "I simply want your companion. He is yet to finish his learning. You are simply in my way. If I cannot have him, I'll have what he carries. And then you can find me the hard way."
You say his. I know it's not I that you wish for. And it couldn't be Thulrom. Which one of us is it that you're after?
Char, of course.
Char doesn't travel with us.
Make a deception check.
Not one.
But if it was a 20, she's like, fine. Go on.
Actually, no. I will reverse that because.
Can I ask? I don't know his name. Is Char.
You do.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has been in the story. So with that one, she smirks a little and says, "Out of my way, human." And that's all she's doing at the moment. Still your turn.
What?
This is going
Can I
so
reply,
long.
or is that going to take an action as well? After
No,
that?
that's fine.
If you can drop this enchantment upon these people, maybe we could discuss this in a more civilized way.
All right. This will be the last. This will be the last free action I'll give you because it requires another roll, and that will be persuasion check.
Can I add?
Yep.
If Char, whom I don't know who that is the one that you're after.
If that's even his real name.
Yeah.
Literally.
I find it difficult for you to get him amongst these circumstances.
All right. Persuasion.
Is it 20?
Cool.
That's going to do anything.
It's not a fire, though.
Well, yeah, it's not a 51.
It's like -5.
22.
Oh,
You're
nice.
not going to take my
All right. Jeez.
The noise of cracking nuts.
Yeah, that's everyone knows. Everyone knows that's noise a Kraken makes.
Beautiful. Lovely bird. It's like those dinosaurs that we know now. The dinosaurs didn't make a roaring sound; they made a bird-like sound. Yeah. Anyway.
Emily obviously didn't know that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Mind blown.
Google that when we're done.
Google it. It might be true. So, as she simply stands and looks at you, in your mind she says, "You know what? I think you're right. Some wisdom for someone so unwise to attack immediately before knowing the true situation." And with that, you all watch as suddenly Thulrom and Gunnar, you both notice the slight glow around these crowds of people. And you three notice the yells, screams no longer are present, and they die down slightly, and then more and more, as in its place is simply a weird sounds of pain, sounds of groaning and pleading and weariness.
I join these people in
Like that lady.
I'm just like, ah!
Like that.
And like, where's my goal? Barclays won.
And
you
you,
like that, you like that lady that falls out of the great squishing contest. You know, she's like,
No.
you don't know that meme? Never mind.
the glowing stops. The crowd of people, the hundreds and hundreds in the stadium, simply fall once more over each other and then look at each other and then sort of start separating their limbs from each other. And
Here's your foot back.
the tired.
No,
That's not over yet.
I stopped hitting people with my mace as I noticed them back off a bit.
Okay. The squidginess subsides. And in its place is simply tears, and there is sobbing.
You made them cry.
And what does happen, however, are the insect-like creatures start moving towards you three and away from you two slowly. Go for it.
Oh no.
Go for it.
Oh no.
If you want to.
Both of them?
No, ooh, that's a really good question. I'm going to figure that out, but because you asked, I'll give it to you. Make one for each. I think you can, yeah.
One of them is a 23, one is a 14.
There's still one more.
And then there's another, yeah. I'll let you have 3. They're all around you.
That is a 18 plus.
That'll do. So 2 of them hit. Which 2 do you want to hit?
The two between myself and the others.
Okay. So the greenish tinged and the yellow. So make damage rolls for both. It's just a normal mace attack.
The one nearest to the top of the arena takes 8 points of damage, and the
8
one
points.
nearest to the bottom takes 9.
All right. Okay. You crack the arms on 2 of them, and they just screech and tick within their mouths really quickly. It almost is nauseating to hear, and you hear this screech throughout the stadium because silence is the only other thing that surrounds you. And then you hear another tick, but it's actually from this lady it seems to emanate from, and she's doing this and simply shaking her head and smiling as slowly the crowds part. Now, give me a second, because basically, this is simply so that you can all see where you are a little bit clearer, but they all do part slowly as they come. Not dead. In fact, Thorum. No. Like he said, he wasn't going for killing blows, but certainly there are unconscious looking but still breathing folk around.
I say in Regav, how are they looking at the moment?
Looking up, they've Osei and Regev actually are nowhere in sight.
They never existed to begin
I'm not that mean. Hopefully.
gaslighting us.
So, for the purposes of this, it seems nothing else is happening. So what are you all doing?
Mara's got like her fists like clenched by her side, like she ready to punch something.
Are we out of initiative?
Can I say to her, I can see you're reasonable then.
You have convinced me for now, she now says out loud for the very first time, echoing through the sand.
What do you want with Gunnar?
She still looks confused at you for a moment.
Ah.
Has he called himself Gunnar?
What's his name?
She looks over to you now. In your mind only, she says, you know where you belong. He has looked for you for some time. And if you do not come with me, you'll be the one to then look for him. You must come with me now. He has so much more to teach you. You are just one of the many that showed potential.
Was that out loud?
No.
Okay.
Does it look like what I do?
It happens in an instant, but I'll get you to make a perception check because you do perform telepathy.
15.
You feel in the silence something is happening, but you think you're good at deceiving and like with that, if anything is happening, she's showing no signs.
What are you looking at them and going,
Yeah.
I'll reply into her head. Who is him? Who is he?
I'm confused more, she responds in your head. I do not recognize this voice.
You look familiar, yes.
I don't recognize the voice that you are using. Is this another one of a disguise of sorts, like your name is disguising your true self?
This is who I am now.
Are you no longer Char, my loyal and very bright student?
That name doesn't mean much to me anymore.
It did. It can again. It's part of who you are. Your...
Answer my question. Who is he? What does he want from me?
You have met him. I am surprised you do not remember. Perhaps what has happened to you, perhaps the experiments were too much. Perhaps we were wrong. Perhaps I should simply go back to Obradin and tell him of our failure. This is all happening in your mind.
how long has passed?
A second.
I scratch my face.
That's all that's happening.
Yeah.
Why did he send you instead of finding me himself? And why do you work for him?
It's unfortunate. I didn't. I don't in a way still. I resist him where I can, but sometimes he is simply too much and overtakes me. And she almost seems to be pleased by that when she says it.
Well, he doesn't have me anymore, but we can't be that strong.
He weakens. He does weaken somewhat, because you are not there with him.
All the more reason for me to stay here.
He
What do you
thought
want?
to teach you everything he's learned.
What does he get out of that?
Peace, satisfaction. That's all he wants now.
Well, then tell him he has to come see me himself.
Unfortunately, he cannot leave where he resides, and if you will not come to him, we must force you.
You can try.
Very well. And you all watch as things happen within seconds after that. She holds up her hand slightly toward you, and immediately in your mind you hear a familiar voice, Full Kipstrom, who says, "What is happening? What is happening? What's going on? I do not understand." And shooting out of underneath your clothing, and then very quickly floating in the air above you, and this shimmer of a yellow orb surrounding it, is Kips. He's flailing, and in your mind you start to hear pain, 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 pain. Why? Help.
Is this a spell?
It seems to be some sort of magical effect, yes. As you all see the small dragon that accompanies Gunnar in the air now, directly above him, just writhing and spinning and moving in an odd, weird way in this small bubble.
Leave Gibbs alone.
I will stride forward and I will dive into her mind with a mind slither. So it's an intelligence save.
Can I cut her arm off?
What?
Intelligence saving throw?
So we're fighting again now?
That is a 23 for her save.
I will push harder and I will cast a mind thrust.
All right. Same one, same thing. Okay, that is a 20.
Okay, she survives that. But she still takes half damage.
There you go.
So she takes. That's not that great. 4.
4 points. You all see her wince for a moment.
Does she need to do a saving throw?
For her concentration? Thank you. Yes, I will. Okay. The bubble seems to hold as she simply moves the orb, whatever has Kips captured, is moving towards her very quickly, and it
Stop her! Stop her!
as you say that, it appears almost in her hand but floating. What are you all doing?
I say to her, surely someone as powerful as you can handle baby dragons and not have to use magic to do so. And I cast Tasha's laughter.
Hideous laughter.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm gonna try and punch her.
All right.
So
Spell
that's
magic,
a
third level.
Okay.
that's a wisdom
Wisdom save from you.
15.
All right, that's a 17. What's the DC on yours, Thulrum?
13.
13.
Unless it's third level or higher, in which case, or lower, then it's just.
Yeah, correct. That's right. Yeah, that's fine. She rolled an 18 on that. It was more than that. Anyway, so
I was actually trying to.
yeah, make an attack roll. Yep, I know.
Am I doing that at advantage because I'm in flank?
Yep,
So cool. That is a 19 to hit.
that hits.
Can she make a con save?
What's she done?
That's 7.
Oh! She's stunned.
Okay.
She's considered stunned.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. And then.
If she's stunned, let's tie her up.
And that is 7 points of damage.
Good to know. All right, just let me check that condition again, just very quickly, if that's okay.
So a stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can speak only falteringly. Automatically fails strength and dex saving throws, and attacks against this creature have advantage.
All right. Give me another second, just while I'm checking something else out. Please.
Have we reached her turn in combat yet?
Not yet.
When the time comes.
I saw that.
Yes, yeah, the 20. Actually, no, she does automatically take. She needs to make a con saving throw against that, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, it has been her turn, so she will.
Do I
But
see
that's
the
a.
other two actions from?
You will in a moment, yes. She does make it on a 23. Sorry, on a 18. Apologies, but she will still save.
That pre-
She's like trying to leave, and we're all just like,
Basically,
Is that like. Does she take disadvantage on con saves when she's stunned?
only it depends on. She does.
I'll roll again.
Let me double check.
I think she fails, doesn't
It's
she?
dex and strength actually, not con.
There you go.
So she
Yeah.
fails automatically? If you're stunned, don't you fail automatically?
Yeah.
Those two things.
Automatically fails strength and dex,
And Dex, not con.
not con.
Worth a try.
But it would also depend, I guess, on what order we all threw things
Yeah,
in.
you're right.
And like technically my initiative is last, so I guess I would have been last too.
This is technically out of initiative combat. I'm just happy for you to tell me what you're doing, essentially.
Oh, okay. Well, she's stunned.
Okay, let's go back to this. So I'm just looking up incapacitated for a second because that has some. Okay.
Just can't take actions or reactions.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
She can I guess every round
I
she
know.
can try to resist.
Yeah, that's fine. But before she goes again, because Barclays, you did something, and you both did something. So Rook, you get a whatever you want to do.
I think I forfeited it. There's been too much time passed since the conversation was had. So.
You can essentially, I mean, you can still do whatever you want because you haven't done anything yet. So if you wanted to change what you wanted to do, feel free.
I'm gonna cut off her arm. Nah, it's already passed because I wouldn't have tied her up because that would have happened after. So.
Because of the incapacitated
Yeah,
condition
so-
has come into effect. So you start doing, but then you see her simply stop and not able to be. She seems like her eyes are wide and she's not moving, even though just before she was. You gather that doing the tying up probably will be a moot point.
It's only for one round, isn't it? I would have talked to her, but I think that's gone now. So.
She can still speak.
You good at getting to change your mind.
Nah, it's already happened.
Talk to her.
I'll tie her up.
But you can talk to her.
I'll bend down with my 50-foot rope and tie her up, and say, your interest in our companion is worrisome, and I feel like you've approached this in the wrong way. This is the thread you've tied. Hunt, and then I rolled her up with.
Make an intelligence check, please.
I always fail at this. Yes, that is 7.
Okay.
Is Kix free?
He's still in
Do I
the
get advantage?
orb.
It's intelligence, so it's no, I don't get advantage because she didn't pass it.
And they're seeing him tiring her up. I'm like, don't forget to gag her.
No, don't gag her. Don't gag her.
Why? She casts spells with her mouth.
She can't speak anyway.
Until she snaps.
Can I do something else or no? I want to sounds gross. I want to I assume when she's stunned, is she standing or did she fall prone?
No, she's still standing.
I'm going to reach out and grab her by the throat and just squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look at her and I'm going to, in her mind, I'm going to say, Gunnar is our friend. Leave him and his friend Kips alone. We look out for each other in this party, and then I'm going to say out loud, even when people do the wrong thing and hurt innocent people. I'm going to look at both of these people.
Yeah, Thulroms Five.
Okay, make a just make a strength check for the grapple.
So
with advantage.
I was going to say, do I get advantage on that? And I don't think she has to save against my stun again. I think it just ends on her. Because it says until the end of my next go.
Actually, you automatically succeed. Sorry, I just looked at the stun condition again.
And it was 19.
Yeah, you have her quite held. Okay. So now it comes around to her turn. She's automatically going to take another 20 points of damage from this guardian who simply just, with a mace, slams down and strikes her in the shoulder on the back. So that's another 20, just straight away. Okay, cool. What's the DC on the...
It just says she's stunned until the end of my next go.
Until the end of your next go.
Which, that was my first go when I did that, and I've just had another go.
You have.
So it would end.
It would end now, okay. All right. So she technically, if it's at the end of your turn...
It's a punch stun versus I'm going to cast a spell and stun you.
Sure. Well, technically, would that mean, in your mind, that because it ends at the end of your turn, her turn is then doing what she wants?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So she... What's she doing at the moment?
She's being held by my hand.
She's held by your hand. And dodgy rope. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. In which case... Cool. Her hands tied behind her back and her throat sort of up. She looks around at all of you with Kips somehow still being held up and levitated with this golden globe of see-through energy. And she sort of looks, and then you simply see her hands now freed. Not in any sort of attacking pose, but simply just rubbing the wrists.
She got out.
I'm going to squeeze tight up.
All right. And she looks towards you all before looking at you, Gunnar, and out loud she says, "He does want to see you, but perhaps a taste of power that may come to you first." Now she's going to attempt to, once again, magically get out of what her situation is.
Get out of dodge.
Is anyone doing anything to attempt to overcome that?
Yeah. I'll counter spell it again.
Okay. So, roll it for me.
That is 25.
Yeah, no worries at all. No issue. So she closes her eyes and just whispers. Now she can do so coherently, but she doesn't go anywhere. She just looks around, opens her eyes once more. "So you would simply follow me then?"
Gunnar, is this woman property of yours? She's not my property.
She seems to be totally invested in you and not us.
I don't know how that makes me property though.
Can you elaborate on the situation?
Can I move forward? My movement. My full movement.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
the stream is so blurry. Where's Amara?
Amara's right in front of you at the moment, between you and this lady.
I have her. I'm gonna let her go. I'll punch her in the face before I walk
Make an
away.
attack roll.
Are all the teeth still there?
They are.
A few Amara.
Was she attracted before this?
How does she look?
I only rolled a 14.
Okay, that misses.
Okay, well I like let her go and I swing and I go. Scared her though, didn't I? No, I move.
She has bruises on her. She has a shoulder blade that looks fairly crushed. Weirdly enough, she doesn't seem to be outwardly presenting pain.
I'm gonna encourage. Do the crowd have their senses about them now?
They're weary, they are tired, and they're starting to move further and further away. You hear the sounds of apologies, confusion. You see coin being exchanged back to whomever they took the bets from. So everyone seems to be dispersing.
I'm gonna use my thaumaturgy to cast my voice as loud as I possibly can. And say, "Flee, people of Shan. You have been bewitched and a great danger remains here. But worry not. Thulroms Five have bravely sacrificed themselves and are defending you."
Okay, persuasion check, please.
Even Michele laughed then. This is the session where Michele questions why he got himself involved.
15? Okay. You do notice that a lot of them start to move a lot more quickly, and just you hear a couple of people yell, "Yeah, Thulroms Five!" and then just scurry away. Gunnar.
You get to beat
I'm
on
gonna
the
say
people who love you.
if I go with you, you let kids go.
She looks at you and out loud says, "Your companions have been upsetting.
Yes or no?
I let him go, and you simply kill me."
I won't come with you unless you let him go.
Is this out loud or?
No.
It's okay.
You watch as this yellow orb shrinks, and
Is it crushing him?
Kips is now in a weird position inside where he's stuck tight. He can't even really flail around anymore. And she looks at you and she says, "Be known that I am fair and trusting in what you say, and I have your guarantee that I will walk away unharmed, and you will follow.
Let him go. Stop hurting him.
He is safe,
Stop hurting him.
and you will follow?"
Yes.
She opens her hand, and the orb slowly, like a slow motion bubble bursting, fades into a starry twinkle in the air. Kips falls straight onto the sand and sort of slithers up, upright, but it looks as though he has in fact been hurt to some degree, and sort of flaps small wings as he flies back up towards you. In your mind, you hear, I'm fine, I'm very good. Not to worry, just keep yourself safe. Gonna keep yourself safe. This is not a safe place. Do not go with her. Please, I beg, I implore you, this is not the right moment in time to make drastic decisions, even though you agreed. Find your way away. Please, I will stop talking.
I'll turn to Amara and I'll say, will you take care of Kip for me?
Amara just like looks like pale as she's real pale. Like she's pale as hell, but like she's paler now. And she goes, no.
Oh, okay.
No, Gunnar.
Thulram,
Gunnar.
will you take care of Kip for me?
Don't say yes, Thulram. Don't do it.
Can I?
Gunner's gonna try and go with this lady. You're not taking Gunnar. It's not gonna happen. I will punch you as many times as I can.
Dragonborn.
You're all more than welcome to join, of course. It doesn't just have to be him. I simply need him along. But if you would all like to accompany, you may find yourselves upskilled as well
Gunnar.
to a
Where are we
point.
going?
Gunnar. No.
I have to know what this is about.
You were the one that said.
I have to know. It's the only way I'll find out.
Gunnar, is there a reason that we don't just bit of fire breath?
Because I want to know. I want to know what this is.
Can I? You suggested that we can learn from where we're about to be. What is your name?
Liviera.
And Olivia,
And yours?
What are you to
His name's Rook.
Gunnar?
am his teacher,
And your invitation extends to all of us, yes?
of course.
Well, maybe we can go and we'll come back and we'll teach Rook. Gunnar.
I must admit, for what we've had here in this pit and what you've produced, I feel like there doesn't need to be any pleasantries here. You can take off your mask now and state your true business here. I think the group would come willingly with Gunnar if we knew what we would be walking into. And if your situation is of education, you may gain some allies here.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
Go
Can
on.
While this is happening, I want to try and see if I can distinguish whether she has, behind her words, she has intent on harming Gunnar.
Okay, insight.
While she's doing that, I also want to just make sure she is who she is, like what we see she is, by using my ring of true sight.
I see. Okay.
You see?
Aha.
Oh, say.
Aha.
Oh my
So-
god.
So she's going to do the inside.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to use ring of insight.
Jeez.
No, ring of
True seeing.
Bring it inside.
true sight.
True sight.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what did you roll, Amara?
25.
25. Okay. Rook, the first thing is, I have no need of allies. Rook, is it? I simply need Gunnar, and if you persist in your protection of him, then you are more than welcome to join. And if your small minds can even conceive the teachings that he has had and he will have, then all the better for you. Then please join and learn what you can if you do not die first. That is not that I am uncaring in that way.
DM question.
Sure.
I'm pretty certain Gunnar's told me he's from the Mournlands or has been there before.
You have. That's right. I believe you have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I did.
And did his education start in the Mournlands?
It did.
And then what was your connection there?
His teacher, I was there. Before the explosion.
That's the sound Rook makes.
Was he a good student? Was he one of your best
Marge
students?
Simpson noise.
He was the only surviving one.
Surviving one, how so?
Well, the experiments, you see. We couldn't hold the minds of those who had attempted to keep such powers within
He has a strange ailment, have you noticed? So, are you sure the experiment went well?
We call it an enhancement.
To make someone a child?
Not a child. This glow that he had. I thought that is what you are referring.
No, well, he doesn't appear like that all the time. He appears like a child.
Yet another secret of his that he keeps. Perhaps.
What is he?
Perhaps you should ask him yourself.
We try to.
Barclays, he's right there.
I know.
So we should go.
I'm finding out information.
So Thulrom sneers and says,
We need to know.
It's true, we do.
We've asked him a lot, and he doesn't know.
I don't
Maybe
know the
she'll
answer
know.
to these questions.
What did you
either.
do to his memory?
He doesn't know much.
He's dumb! No.
This is not polite, but it's not inaccurate.
Just a little boy.
Do you know how old Char is?
All of these things you do not know, and you call him your companion.
Well, he says he doesn't know these things.
Oh. Is that so?
Every morning, Gunnar has to wake up.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you've told me.
After he's peed the
Oh
bed.
yeah, I do tell you that.
And he has to go through a book of written memories to try and remember who he is, what he can do, and who we are as well. This is no trick. Only I know this. No one else knows this.
But you're saying this obviously out loud.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Why did you do this? Who did this to him?
Just before you continue, I'm just sending you something, Barclays.
No, I've got that already.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
What are you trying to find out?
What do you
Insight what she knows.
Yeah. Can you do?
No, that's not how insight works.
See if I can make it up.
It's a good try though.
See if I'm telling the truth. That's something you can do.
Oh, about what she said about me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't know that.
So
Just before you go, so if that is so, then I would not want to impart anything that you do not want me to. I respect your position.
Funny way of showing respect.
To you. Thulrom?
So Thulrom says, what will you teach him that you have not practiced today? You'll take him and apprentice him and so that what? He can return to this arena and get the shit kicked out of him like you have.
The purposes of why we'll be training him is not for your ears. But we will teach him many things. Clairsentience, metacreativity, metapsionics, there's psychokinesis, psychokinesis, there's psychometabolism, psychoportation, telepathy, many strands of, and you are already quite intimate with telepathy and metakinesis. Psychokinesis. And for these reasons, we want to expand your knowledge like you left us with. You left us with the need to teach you more. These other strands of psionic powers, Char, Gunnar, will perhaps boost you into something you never thought possible. Finish your teachings and you could be anything. And you can remember everything again. Wouldn't that not be some sort of peace on your mind?
Yes. I've gotta know.
Fine, then I'm coming.
Yeah, okay.
Can I say something?
But someone's gonna take care of Kips.
I think
You don't have to come if you don't.
there's a lot that needs to be revealed here, and I think we need a lot of answers, and we've tried to get them, we can't, but it's probably wise to start off being as open and as transparent as possible. Why don't you show us who you really are?
Persuasion check, please.
Where's my modifier? is 21.
21, okay. She sort of looks at you for a moment. You have special eyes, don't you?
I know a lady, and I know another lady.
So it seems. This voice becomes slightly deeper, and sort of a crook of the neck, and then the other side, and as the other side of the neck sort of cracks slightly, perhaps I should get out more. And with that, her form shifts, and as it does, once again, there's also something that is causing her to want to disappear from the place that she's currently in. Another magical effect that is causing her to move. Does anyone want to do anything to try and make her not have this magical effect? You can try and punch, yes?
I could try and dispel magic.
Dispelling magic will be more of a matter of if there is a perpetual magical effect on it.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's right. Yeah, because it's an instant and it doesn't prolong after that moment. Dispel magic probably wouldn't do it.
Is that a straight roll or is it a?
Yeah, straight attack roll.
Okay. 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Do I use my last key point? Yes. Make a con save, please.
Sure. Con save, that's a 12.
Stunned.
And with that, the
Still damage.
still damage, yes.
Still damage.
So
8 points.
Still damage?
so this form shifts, and in the place of this woman is a darker, definitely darker than olive-skinned, white, long, straight hair, wrinkled, old face of a man of age, old, and a stooped shoulders over, almost over his neck completely, and he is carrying this crooked walking stick, and he looks over to you and says, "You have called me, so I am here." And in your mind, for a moment, and in front of you all, is a face that changes from this old man to this woman that you just saw before, to Thulrom's face, and to Barclay's, and to Amara's face, smirking toward you, Gunnar. Rook's face, giving you a sneer as you look back, and Rook's just there looking a bit stunned at the sight. And he says again, back to the old face, this wrinkled, tired-looking form, he says, "Obradin at your service once again." And that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Yeah.
That ring is good. That's nice.
It's a very good ring.
It's a good ring.
Man.
Anyone who is thank you very much for watching. Thank you for hanging around and
Thanks for putting up with our shit tonight.
oh look, apologies, we had a few audio issues. I fixed a little bit of that sort of towards the end, but hopefully we are actually in the process of getting more and better equipment, which is great. So hopefully that's going to help resolve some of the niggling issues that we're having. But please still support us if you can. That would be much appreciated. Thank you so much for hanging around. And I can't believe that's the end of it already, and I have to wait another week.
I know.
What the hell?
Twice a week.
But you all got a bit of a taste, of Gunnar and perhaps a little bit of his story, which is interesting. I'm really excited to see more of that. Cool. Well, I'm gonna go. We're gonna go and have a lovely night and see you all next week. Thank you.
Guys, again, thank you for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week on Tuesday. 6:45.
Tuesday, yes, correct.
And
Exactly.
take care.
Bye.
Ciao.